I trust that everyone is well into the new year now and that you're enjoying 2025, and perhaps you've had some trials along the way so far this year, but know this, God has got a great plan for your life if you walk hand in hand with Him. Today I want to carry on in the book of Daniel, and we're going to look at a story that many of us know. We grew up in Sunday school hearing the story of Daniel in the lion's den. But today I want to start out by sharing a part one of a part two message with you. And we want to look at Daniel's faith in the face of the lions. And you can read about that in full in Daniel chapter 6 from verse 1 all the way to 28. But Daniel finds himself in a situation, because again, Daniel is not going to do what the king says to him to do. He is going to follow what Yahweh God tells him to do. And so Daniel finds himself in a position. First of all, he finds himself in a vulnerable position. First of all, Daniel has had much success. And so he has succeeded. He has been pushed up the ladder in leadership. And so his very success has made him vulnerable because his colleagues are jealous of him. The second thing that makes him vulnerable is his faithfulness. He is going to serve God. He's going to pray to God like he does every single day. He's not going to change anything in his life. Even though there's a new decree that's released, he is not going to acquiesce. He is going to remain faithful to his God. And the third thing is his integrity. He knows what is right, and nothing is going to make him sway from that. I think that's a great lesson from Daniel that you and I need to learn. That we need to make sure that what we say is what we do. That we do not back down on our firm beliefs. The second thing about Daniel is Daniel found himself to be a victim. Listen to what verse 10 says. Now, when Daniel knew that the written document was signed, he entered into his house. Now in his roof chamber, he had 3 windows open toward Jerusalem. And he continued kneeling on his knees 3 times a day, praying and giving thanks before his God as he had been doing previously. Now, if you just backtrack a little bit, the king was given a proposal. His advisor said to him, "King, why don't you be God for 30 days? Let everybody worship you only for 30 days. That's all that we want. 30 days, people will worship you." And so the whole nation does just that except for Daniel. Daniel hears the decree. He knows that the result is going to be, if I don't do this, I'm going to be thrown to the lion's den. But he decides, I'm going to not do that. I am going to do what God calls me to do. And so he finds himself a victim. His friends lay a trap to find him, to catch him out. And so he goes about doing what he does every day, and his friends know his routine, and so they catch him praying to Yahweh, not to the king. And so some things I want you to know about Daniel. In this trial of his, he doesn't compromise his prayer life. He makes time to spend time talking to his God. He does that every single day. He stands firm in his faith. He's not going to let anybody or anything get in the way of his faith. And so he decides that I am not going to do that. I am going to do what is right in the sight of God. So he's a victim. He's vulnerable because of his faithfulness. He's a victim, and now they're going to try to catch him out, which we know that they do. But Daniel is going to remain fervent. He's going to remain firm. He's going to remain steadfast, and he's not going to waver on what he believes. Let me encourage you for 2025. Don't step down on what you believe. What God says is what God says. Make sure that you don't compromise on His word in 2025.